we are going to get into World War I. It's our first set of flip notes, so let's have at it. Okay, so World War I, we're looking at 1914 to 1918. What gets this war started? All right, you can see the "I Want You." This is original World War I recruitment poster. So let's see what gets us in this mess. All right. So first, we're going to look at these causes. And kind of looking as an acronym, the main causes, MAIN, okay? So the first one here is militarism, all right? So what's happening in Europe is all of these countries are building up their military like crazy, okay? So you see the definition here, militarism. You should build up your military, be ready to use it aggressively in case you need it, all right? I mean, you look at this here, this is even before the war. In the 5 years before the war, Germany increases the amount of money they're spending on defense by 73%. All right. Why would they do that? Because they're getting ready for war. So what happens is you have all these countries in Europe. All right. You know, Germany and Italy and France and Great Britain and Russia, and you can see this is the amount of money they're spending in millions on defense. Okay. So we go from 94 million to almost 400 million. All right, in not that long of a time, okay? So what happens is they're just getting ready to fight, basically, okay? They're lifting weights, they're sparring, they're just getting ready for that boxing match. So this is the first cause, that all these countries are just building up their military to be the best, the baddest, the strongest, okay? That's the first one, all right? The second one is alliances. Now, what happens is an alliance is when two countries or more, okay, make an agreement that, hey, if they mess with you, I got your back. All right. You think about this is pretty much like gangs. All right. You got the red gang here and the blue gang here. It can never be a one-on-one fight between two people. How come? Because they have alliances. If this red guy fights this blue guy, it's not a one-on-one. All their buddies are going to jump in. Okay. You see this with friends. This group of friends doesn't like that group of friends. Well, how come? Because they have alliances. Okay, families, countries, you know, and this is what's going to happen. You have countries that are set up in these alliance groups. You know, on one side, you have Great Britain, France, and Russia against Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. So if Germany messes with Russia, it's not a one-on-one fight because of these alliances. It brings in all their buddies, okay? So they're all building up their military. They have these agreements set up, so not only are they building up their, you know, their weapons and their armed forces, if one of them messes with the other one, boom, it's going to explode. Okay, so you have militarism and alliances. All right, so you could see them set up. You have the Central Powers here in the middle. Okay, and then the Allied are going to be on the outside, and this will play a big role in how the war is going to be fought because they're fighting really two wars. They got to fight over here, and they have to fight over here. All right. So the next one is imperialism. Okay. So it's kind of a tricky concept, and I know you maybe talked about this last year a little bit. Imperialism is when a stronger country takes over a smaller, weaker country. Okay. You know, you make colonies. Now, you see this. This is how the world is kind of busted up by colonies. And you think about how this is going to create tension. Well, if the colony's here and Germany wants it and Great Britain wants it, there's only so much colony to go around. So they're going to be just butting heads, getting into, you know, issues because they're all trying to. It's like a game of Risk. You know, if you're playing in world domination, they're all fighting over the same land. Okay, so you think about the size. You know, we think of Europe; it's a continent, but the countries are really small. You know, Germany's the size of Montana, the state of Montana. You know, Great Britain, you know, half that size, almost the size of Kansas. So when these countries, their population gets bigger, they don't have anywhere else to go, and they need more land, and they need more resources. So what they do is they start imperializing and taking over smaller, weaker countries. Okay, here you see England, you know, with the tentacles taking over, literally taking over parts of the world. And Africa is going to be sliced up by these countries, okay? Because they start to have this idea that if we don't expand, we're weak. You know, if you don't take colonies, you're weak. And if you're weak, you're going to get beat, okay? The strongest will survive. Now check out Africa. Here's 1880. Yeah, there's some color around the edges, but all of this gray in here is not taken over by anyone. Fast forward to right before the war. The entire thing. Okay? So this 1880, this 1914. All right? So you think about all of these countries, they're fighting over this land and the tensions are rising and they're all trying to jockey in and get in their spots. This is just going to cause more problems. Then you have the alliances, and they're all building up their weapons. So it's kind of like a powder keg sitting there just waiting for someone to throw in a match. Okay? Now, the last one here is nationalism. All right? Nationalism is you have extreme pride for your country. Okay? When you put your country over everybody, over everything else. Okay? You know, our country's the best, your country sucks. All right? And not only, so you think about imperialism and how it relates to nationalism. Well, we want to have the most land because our country's the best. Militarism. We want to have the most weapons and the biggest army because our country's the best. Okay? This is going to cause some problems because now nobody is going to be willing to give up. Everyone's going to fight to the death, to the end, because you want to show your country is the best. Okay? So you have aggressive nationalism set up. Now, okay, so what, Mr. Flynn? They're building up weapons. We have weapons in the United States. We're not using them. Alliances. We have alliances. Doesn't mean we're going to war. Imperialism. Yeah, we have Puerto Rico, Guam, other parts. Nationalism. We stand up. We say the Pledge of Allegiance. You salute the flag. So what? Doesn't mean we're going to war. Well, really, Europe is ready for a war. I mean, they're just getting ready. It's like a stack of dominoes set up. Okay? And they're just waiting for, as soon as one thing happens, boom, they're all falling, and we're going to get into World War I. Okay, so you have militarism, the alliances, the imperialism, and then this huge nationalism, and all these countries are like, we're number one, we're number one. Okay, now we'll go over these tomorrow. Okay, the spark. All right, this is what's going to happen. You have this guy here, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. All right, there's this little family portrait, nice little sweet little mustache there. Okay, so. This isn't filling in your sheet, but I want you to listen, okay? Archduke Ferdinand here of Austria-Hungary. He wants to make Serbia, this country here, part of his empire, all right? Now, if you're a Serbian, you're saying, screw that. We have our own nationalism. We don't want to be part of Austria-Hungary. So they're ready to fight, okay? So background so far, so good. This guy here, he's like the president, the leader, wants to take over this country. Now, what happens is there's going to be a terrorist group known as the Black Hand that's going to be sent in to kill Ferdinand. Okay? They say, this guy from Austria-Hungary wants to take over Serbia, so this group of Serbian terrorists are going to go in and take this guy out. Okay? You can see the Sarajevo, the capital here, down in Serbia. Okay? So what happens is you have this, there's like a parade. Okay? And it's coming down the main street. And you have these assassins, set up. They all have a pistol, okay? They all have like a Molotov cocktail, handmade bomb, and they all have a cyanide poison capsule. So what they're supposed to do is, if they see him, shoot him. If he's far away, throw a bomb. Take the cyanide pill, so you kill yourself, so you don't have to, testify or go to jail, and Serbia will be free. All right. So he comes down, main hall. This guy here gets a little freaked out. Doesn't do anything. This guy here is about to pull his gun out. A cop just comes up, stands next to him. And remember, this is a big parade. I mean, there's just tons of people. Okay, this guy here goes in. He chucks the bomb up. The driver of his car looks up, sees this thing hurling at him, hits the gas, hits the bumper, blows up behind him, and mass chaos ensues. I mean, you think about if someone laid a bomb in the middle of the Labor Day parade. People go crazy. Okay, this guy here takes a cyanide pill, jumps over the bridge. Problem is, the water's only 3 feet deep. He busts his ankle. He pukes up the pill. The Archduke makes it through. Okay. So now again, I can't make this stuff up. The guy goes. Archduke goes. He gives his speech. Everything's all good. He's like, the bomb blew up, and one of my buddies is in the back car behind me that got hit. So he wanted to go to the hospital. Okay. He's going back after his speech, and he goes back, and he's going on this street, this back street, and the driver says, no, we got to go down this main street, the Appel Quay. All right, so he's doing a Y turn. As he's doing a Y turn, assassin number 6, this is hours later, okay, So these guys just went in with the crowd. When it blew up, they just kind of scattered out, okay? He's coming out of a coffee shop, okay? He looks up. Hey, there's the Archduke. What's he do? Pull out his gun. Bam, bam. Shoots twice, okay? Hits the Archduke, hits the Archduke's wife in the stomach. She's pregnant, okay? So this is going to just make things even more crazy. And kills the Archduke, all right? So this is what's going to get this is what's going to tip the dominoes over, all right? So you can see the gun, they have the car, it's all in the museum, all right? This guy here, Gavrilo Princip, all right, young guy, early 20s, you know, kills the Archduke. You see him, jumps out, I mean, he's like 6 feet away, boom, blasts him right in the chest. I mean, you can see where the blood is, okay? Now, how does this get us into World War I? Well, I'm going to show you, okay? The Archduke is assassinated. What happens is Austria-Hungary gives Serbia an ultimatum. An ultimatum is you do this or else we're going to take you over, okay? What nobody knew is that Serbia had a secret treaty with Russia, and this is what's going to make things get crazy. Serbia says, screw you guys. I'm not signing no ultimatum. I'm not giving in to you guys. We got big, bad, sleeping bear Russia over there ready to take you out, okay? So Russia starts getting their troops ready. Everyone's like, what is going on? Russia? Well, we didn't know Russia had a treaty with Serbia. Okay, Russia is right next to Germany, so Germany sees this as an act of aggression. They say, oh, we're declaring war on Russia. Okay, and then Germany is in the middle here. France is over here. Well, France and Russia had a deal, so now Germany declares war on France. Okay, and then England has a treaty with Russia and France. They declare war on Germany. Okay, now we're in a world war. All right, so you see how one thing just leads to the next, and really, you know, they declare war on them. Well, because they're an alliance, they have to declare war on them, and then because they're an alliance, they have to declare war on them. And it all starts with a 20-year-old dude shooting the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, and now we're in World War. Okay, and remember, all these countries have been building up their weapons, building up their military for years. Now they're going to use them. Okay, so we'll talk about this tomorrow. Kind of reiterate and go in on this. But that's all for our first set of notes. Hope it didn't kill you. Looking about 12 minutes.